So Alabama is going to have a couple of new coordinators. And I think that that's a big deal because we've seen this happen before. And, by the way, they generally work out. And I know that's obvious. It's like if you're going to go work for Nick Saban, that's one of the best jobs in America. So now all of a sudden, maybe the two best coordinator jobs in America are open in the same time. And you look at the list of guys that have been coordinators for Nick Saban, just start on the offensive side. It started with Major Applewhite in 07, then Jim McElwain was there for a few years, won a national championship, Doug Nussmeier, Lane Kiffin, Brian Dable, Mike Loxley, Steve Sarkisian, Bill O'Brien, right? Like, you look through there's some serious firepower. On the defensive side, maybe not the names that have been on the offensive side, but still you've got Kevin Steele. Kirby was there for a long time, 08 to 2015. Jeremy Pruitt was there, Tosh Lapoy, and Pete Golding. So now you're left with a couple of open coordinator spots, and it begs the question, like, what direction is Nick going to go? Brings up a couple of thoughts for me. Number one is, I trust Nick Saban. Whoever he chooses is going to be right for Alabama because he's not choosing someone to come in and change anything. Whoever comes in will have to assimilate to the culture that Nick Saban has already built. So that's an important point. This is not something that needs to be fixed. All right. This is why, and this is an important reason why, and the real reason why all of these reclamation projects have succeeded. Okay, when Lane Kiffin goes in there, when no one else will touch him with a 10-foot pole and it works, and everyone's like, man, it's crazy how powerful that is. That's because Lane was assimilating into a culture and not the opposite direction. He wasn't brought in to be a hero. He was brought in to go in there and contribute to something that was already moving and built. And so one of the reasons why all of these have worked is because you're going in to be a cog in the system. And this is no different than that. And I know a lot of people, and I see it on social media, and there are Alabama people that are like, good, this is going to be good for us. The Bill O'Brien tenure wasn't quite as successful as we thought it was going to be. And you know what? Fair enough. I think Pete Golding and the way that the defense played this year with some of the pieces that they had returning was in some ways disappointing. And so there is some excitement around getting fresh blood, a new set of eyes in at Alabama. The one area that I trust the most is that it's still Nick Saban. Whoever he brings in will have to assimilate to the culture at Alabama. As they put it to me very bluntly, if you do not love football, then Alabama is not for you. So whoever goes down there and becomes the coordinator for the Crimson Tide on each side of the ball, they're going to learn a lot, and I think that they're going to be better coaches for it. Just some names that I would throw out there. I mean, is it too? I mean, Cliff Kingsbury? Can we would that not be amazing, right? Now, will he do that? I have no idea. I have no idea. And by the way, he's getting paid so much money to just be in Thailand. And it's like, hey, man, we see it on social media. You've got a good life. Hang out. He doesn't need to go down there. Would it work out? Probably. So that's a name. Joe Cox is another name. He's a young guy that a lot of people are high on. I just throw out from a defensive perspective, like Jim Leonhard. Where's Jim Leonhard going to land? I think Jim Leonhard is one of the best defensive coaches in football. Now, a lot of people think, and listen, I don't disagree with them, that Jim could wind up in the National Football League. And that's certainly been at his disposal in past years, and I would imagine would be at his disposal this year as well. But if he wants to stay in college, this might be a great opportunity for him to go down, learn from Nick Saban, and become even better. Listen, there's a reason that Wisconsin didn't want him to be a head coach. So maybe this is Jim's time to reflect a little bit, say, okay, what am I lacking? Where can I get it? What am I lacking? Where can I get it? Well, if you're lacking the knowledge, the foresight to be a head coach, the way to get it is go work for Nick Saban, right? He's the greatest coach in college football history. So that's a name that I would throw out there, and we'll see where they go. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here.
From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here. College football on Fox.